Some people may consider buy now, pay later plans to spread out the costs of holiday shopping. We've got Lisa Gill here, our Consumer Reports expert. She joins us now to talk about the risks and rewards of these plans. Before we even get to that, you were saying that that is a good deal. If you want to buy something in particular, you put it in your cart, leave it there, just kind of dangle the carrot.
Shut that browser.
Shut the browser, and then what happens?
Just walk away and then go check your email maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, and you never know. There could be 10%, 20%. All kinds of incentives.
Yeah, let them know, like, I'm interested, but you got to do something on your end. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about these other buy now, pay later deals. What exactly is that, and really, how does it work?
Right. So you'll see, as it's Cyber Monday, you're shopping online, and when you're ready to actually make that purchase, you'll be confronted with different ways to pay. And some of them are familiar. You think, oh, I can use a credit card, I can use Venmo, but you also may be hit with something called Pay in 4. Which could be Sezzle, Klarna, PayPal, Venmo even has a Pay in 4, Afterpay.
So like 4 payments they mean?
Yes,
okay.
They mean 4 payments. So what happens, you click on one of those, you think, oh, I'll spread this out over 4 payments, no big deal. But you also may be then confronted with, well, you could actually spread it out over 12 months or 24 months or even longer. And they may advertise no interest, no fees. But as you get into those longer loans, you are definitely looking at interest rates. The ones that we looked at were as high as almost 30%.
Whoa.
Way higher than a credit card. But even if you decide, okay, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to do that little Pay in 4, pay every 2 weeks, no problem. But the thing about that is, if you think you're going to return this merchandise, or it's something really expensive, you're going to think again about using these services. Credit cards, our traditional old credit cards, have a lot of consumer protections. And if you need to return something, or if something isn't shipped to you properly, or maybe it never even arrives at all, a credit card company can cancel that transaction immediately and then help you through the remediation process. Buy now, pay later, although some companies have a little bit of that, there's no law or rule or regulation that requires them to do that. And you can be on the hook for payments with merchandise you don't have.
No, that's horrible. But how does this actually impact your credit score?
Yes.
And in what ways, I guess, can shoppers be surprised?
Yes, you're asking about my favorite topic. So you think, in fact, most people think that when they do these small loans, it's going to help their credit scores. But in fact, what's called a positive payment does not go toward your credit score. It's actually the negative payments. If you skip a payment by accident, or maybe you thought you returned the item and you stopped paying on it, but you actually still owed, that could go on your credit score, or could go on your credit report, which will affect that credit score. So most of the time, it actually will not have any impact. Definitely not a positive impact, and typically only a negative impact.
And I love what you said. Traditional credit cards, those come with fraud protections, and they dispute processes, so that's really helpful. Do these kind of services offer similar protections? And you're saying, no, they don't. So that's something to pay attention to. So interesting. Sometimes you're on Instagram, you're on different places, and things pop up. You're like, oh, I want this dress, or I want this, or I want that. And then later on, I don't like it, or something happens. And my husband says, well, where'd you get it from? And I'm like, I don't remember. He's like, Yvonne, because, you
it's like you just like, you get going. You get going
and
online.
sometimes I'm like, I don't even realize, I'm like, oh, it's coming from the UK, or, you know what I mean?
Totally.
It took 2 months for something, and it hasn't even arrived, and I ordered it in October.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, you just never know. You have to really watch out for the red flags. Any other red flags that shoppers should be looking for with these sign up buy later?
Absolutely. It's also really easy to stack. We call them stacking. So you're just like, oh, I'll do one loan here. I'll do maybe a different loan over here, another loan over there. And you're trying to avoid putting everything on a credit card. The problem is, the more loans that you have, way more likely you are going to miss or skip a payment by accident. So we always recommend to set up auto pay. You have to be on top of these, especially the ones that are every 2 weeks. And I'll tell you this, one thing we did uncover in multiple investigations is that if you have a problem and you think you're not going to be able to make that payment, contact the company immediately before the payment is due and try to reschedule.
But what do you say? You just explain, and how are they going to care?
That, you know what, you'll be shocked. Most of these companies will actually move those deadlines for you. And especially around the holidays, and as we get into the year, sort of after the holidays, every single company told us they will move them, and often with no penalty.
What kinds of purchases are you saying do not get those with this kind of payment plan?
I love this question. Okay, so there's a couple. Actually, gifts, if anything that you think could be returned by somebody else, just be aware that you could be on the hook for the payments as it's going through. Also, I would say anything. My vote is anything over $1,000, but that's my like limit. But like electronics, musical equipment, jewelry, any like expensive items that if it didn't make it to your house, you would be really upset. And possibly on the hook for something very expensive. Also clothing. So if you order, like sometimes I order multiple sizes of one item.
I'm not a one size girl. Like it just depends on the
you don't
fit.
know.
You know what I mean? So like I always buy at least 2 sizes.
And you think, oh, I'm going to return the remaining 5 of these. I'll keep one of them. Just be aware, if you do buy now, pay later, what's going to happen is you'll be paying on these loans until that return. And many people stop paying. They think, oh, it's like been 2 weeks. It should be done, but it's not. And so you have to double check. So I'm not a fan of that. I would say skip it.
So I guess as we wrap things up, what steps should people take to keep their finances on track?
Just if you're looking at these buy now, pay later loans and you're like, gosh, I feel like this would be a good option. You might want to check yourself and make sure that you actually have whatever you're about ready to purchase available in your budget. And if you don't have enough credit and you don't have enough money in your checking account, I might take a big pause, step back, and really think about that purchase.
Anything we didn't cover that you're like, people need to know this at home, you know? No,
the main thing is just be so careful about these companies love to lure you in with no fee, no interest loans. And once they want you to download the app, and then they'll start sending you like, oh, more discounts, more messages, and try to get you to use the service, especially if you've successfully paid off one loan. And boy, you can really very quickly get into like trouble with multiple loans. And it's like the more loans you have, the more likely you are to skip a payment, and it can go south so quickly.
I feel like when it's too good, when it sounds and looks too good to be true, it is.
That's 100%.
You know. Like I think, they just want to make the sale and then, and they really get you.
Yeah, one thing is, they don't actually check to see if you qualify. So this is one thing. This is one reason so many people do it. Maybe they don't have a credit card or any other credit available, and they're like, oh, I'll do this. I'll do these because these companies don't check, especially for the pay in 4. They're not checking to see like, oh, do you qualify? Do you have good credit? Do you have do you have other payments you need to make? They're just like, they kind of take a look at you. They do their own internal assessment. And then they give you the yes or no.
I need to put you on speed dial because I've always have questions on things and be like texting you 2 a.m, Lisa.
It's amazing.
What should I do here?
It's amazing. And then there's like more of these companies and stuff. They are literally everywhere. And I will say this, especially during the holidays. I was looking at some stats earlier and I was shocked at how many people use buy now, pay later for food delivery.
Really?
Restaurants and groceries. And
really?
I would say groceries is, I'm not going to, if you're really strapped for groceries.
You need to,
I'm not going to tell you no, but just bear in mind, paying, especially for delivery, we did like a little analysis not long ago and realized that almost half of what you are financing over a long period of time are fees. Like delivery fees, service charges, gas charges, and you're just like, this makes no sense.
It's too much, right? The food is like this, but then it's like double with just the fees. I get you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
As always.